distance transport. We also provide tents, chairs, and lowering machines. Find us in Lusaka at UTH and Charleston. Contact us on the number 0976 161213. That is 0976 161213. Or contact us via our 24/7 on 0975 442107. We also have branches in Monze, Luansha, Chongwe, and Livingstone. Ozeron Funeral Services. Come for affordable and quality services.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've invited first.
It's almost here. Your gateway to the north is loading in preparation for those wanting to explore the region. That's right, Kasama Airport has been upgraded and will soon be opening its doors to travelers. Explore Kasama through your gateway to possibilities. Zambia Airports Corporation Limited. Keep flying.
Wow, that over there is a very nice Ford. Have you seen it?
Of course. I have been looking at it since we got here. My worry is how people manage such vehicles and where they buy genuine parts from.
I'm sure there's nowhere else apart from Shuma Auto Parts. They are the only supplier of genuine Ford and Mazda parts, which comes straight from the manufacturer. They have everything in stock for both latest and ordinary Mazda and Ford. They also stock service parts such as diesel filters, air con filters, diesel pumps, steering pumps, turbochargers, engine overhaul gaskets, suspension parts, and body parts. If they don't have parts you're looking for, they can order within 5 to 10 working days. To top it up, Shuma Auto Parts also supply Maxxis tires and CST tires.
Really? But where are they found?
They are found on Chandam Sonda Road, Cruiser Auto Workshop in Lusaka. Call on 0979 192057 and 0960-747235. shumaautoparts@gmail.com. Shuma Auto Parts for all your genuine vehicle parts.
The Happy World of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening. This is the 5FMA news for 1830. The headlines. ECZ appoints new chief electoral officer. Nelly Muti rules that material Member of Parliament Miles Sampa's stay in the House is subject to court interpretation. Uganda moves to end oil import deal with Kenya. Now with the news in detail, my name is Judith Mwape. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has appointed Brown Kasaro as its new Chief Electoral Officer. Mr. Kasaro takes over from Patrick Shindano, whose contract expired in August 2022. Speaking during a press briefing today, ECZ chairperson Mwangala Zalomis says Mr. Kasaro holds a Bachelor's of Engineering from the University of Zambia and has 15 years' experience as an elections and electoral technology specialist and worked at the Electoral Commission of Zambia as Director Information and Communications Technology for 11 years from 2006 to 2017. Mrs. Zalomis says Mr. Kasaro election-related consultancies, locally, regionally, and international, among these with IFES, UNDP, and EISA. She says Mr. Casaro comes with a wealth of relevant electoral expertise, knowledge, understanding, and abundant in information communication technology tilted toward elections and electoral technology, and there is no doubt that he is equal to the task.
Mr. Casaro holds a Bachelor of Engineering from the University of Zambia. He has 15 years' experience as an election technology specialist and worked at the Electoral Commission of Zambia as Director Information, ICT, for 11 years, from 2006 to 2017, and has done several election-related consultancies locally, regionally, international.
And the newly appointed CEO, Brown Casaro, says he will undertake the work transparently and with integrity so that the outcome can be credible.
I am, in a way, fortunate that the mandate is very clear to implement the electoral process. And this is what we're continuing to do as we continue with the current electoral cycle and going forward. We will undertake this work transparently, with integrity, so that the outcomes can be credible.
There was commotion in Parliament after the Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Moti, ruled that Material Member of Parliament, Miles Sampa's stay in the House is subject to court interpretation. The Speaker says the House has no jurisdiction over the matter and that until the judicial process takes course, Mr. Sampa enjoys the full privileges of Parliament. She says the legislature should not therefore be dragged to interpret the law, hence the autonomy of the judiciary should be left to preside over Mr. Sampa's.
Honorable members, for me to delve into whether or not Mr. M.B. Sampa should continue to enjoy the privileges of this House would require me interpreting the provisions of Article 70, as clearly indicated by the Constitutional Court in the Chishimba Kambwili case. The interpretation of the Constitution is a function of the courts. In view of the foregoing, I do not have the jurisdiction to do that.
But the ruling unsettled some opposition lawmakers who are against the outcome of the ruling.
Disregard of the Constitution, the supreme document, whether we have got the jurisdiction to interpret, we must respect it. Are we in order, Madam Speaker, to sit here and breach the Constitution with impunity as an institution which is a legislative arm of government, with the responsibility to formulate laws that should manage and govern the people? Are we in order to disregard the law and our own rules through these standing orders?
What is the matter? What is the matter of urgent?
The matter is Article 74, Sub-Article 2, has been breached of the Constitution.
A political party shall respect the rights of its members to participate in the affairs of the political party. Madam Speaker, this is the Republican Constitution of Zambia, and I draw the attention of the Minister of Home Affairs to this very, very important article. I also wish to draw Article 49(2)(d) of the Patriotic Front Constitution, which requires, Madam Speaker, that candidates for the presidency are subjected to the national.
Action Aid Zambia has challenged government to act and address the violation of human rights happening in Zambia's correctional facilities. In a statement, Action Aid Zambia Interim Country Director Jovina Nawenzake says the revelations from the 2023 Prisons Audit Report are not only alarming but a clear case of many violations on human rights by Zambian authorities. Action should be taken to correct the situation immediately. According to Article 4 of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, no person should be subjected to torture, cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Further, Article 9 states that no one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. Ms. Nawenzake says domestically, the Zambian constitution outlines the national value of human dignity, equity, social justice, equality, and non-discrimination. She feels that there is still need for significant reforms to ensure that there is quality of service delivery for inmates and officers employed by Zambia Correctional Service. Ms. Nawenzeke has challenged the Human Rights Commission of Zambia to take action and report and protect the rights of those inmates in prisons and should conduct a countrywide inspection of prisons to verify issues presented in the report and make urgent remedial measures. She says government, through the Minister of Home Affairs or the Prisons Commissioner General, should tender a public apology to inmates both past and present for the failure to uphold their human rights. A climate smarterist, Oliver Bulaya, has called on cooperatives in Livingston, Zimba, and Kazungula and across the country not to depend on handouts but use local-based strategies to protect the environment and enhance their production levels. Dr. Bulaya notes that it's sad that cooperatives are supposed to be commercially viable now exists basically as a link for FISP and as called upon the leaders and each member to be creative and innovative. He says many people are aware of the climate change and its effects on the environment and the agriculture sector, yet few people translate this information by being proactive and get involved in the management of the ecosystem and water resources. Dr. Blair says farmers must engage in resilient farming methods for Southern Province to go back where it was as a leading agricultural province. He says climate change has come to stay, therefore it takes farmers to shift their farming practices to climate-smart agriculture, but the impediment is that smallholder farmers are so comfortable, a mentality he says must be broken if Zambia is to realize its potential in the agricultural sector.
Our role for us as conservation farming unity, working together, with other supporting, agencies, it is important to bring this realization to our farmers that they have what it takes to advance, their growing, their potential, in the agricultural sector.
Another story trending this evening. The Ministry of Health has revealed that 4 anthrax deaths and a cumulative of 335 cases have been reported across the country. Minister of Green Economy and Environment, Collins Nzovu, says the world is expecting a lot on the loss and damage fund and countries cannot afford to let the world down. Up next, the business news.
FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
The Lusaka City Council Public Health Department has disclosed that it has intensified meat inspection activities in abattoirs, bulk meat storage facilities, and in butcheries. Council Public Relations Officer Wupe Kabuswe explains that this is aimed at ensuring that only meat fit for human consumption is exposed for sale to the general public in an effort to prevent the spread of anthrax disease, which has affected other districts. Ms. Kabuswe says the Council's Public Health Department is currently conducting meat inspection activities in various butcheries, beef bulk storage cold rooms, and abattoirs within Lusaka City, being the highest consumer of meat coming from other districts in Zambia. She says the activities are centered on anthrax prevention and improving public health conditions. Ms. Kabuswe said so far, 8 quarters of beef carcasses has been seized due to lack of proper documentations on sources and destination of the said meat.
Activity anthrax prevention as well as improving public health conditions. So far, 8 quarters of beef carcasses have been seized due to lack of proper documentation on sources and destination of it. Furthermore, the local authority would like to urge traders selling beef to ensure that it is inspected by health inspectors and certified fit for human consumption.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And now in foreign news, Uganda's cabinet has approved a bill allowing the state-owned oil company, Uganda National Oil Company, to source and supply oil to the domestic market. If approved by Parliament, the bill will end the current arrangement of importing oil through Kenyan distributors. Energy Minister Ruth Nankabira on Tuesday said that the change aims to improve the security of supply of petroleum products to the country. Here's Randa from the BBC.
A group of seriously injured Palestinians has arrived in Egypt through the Rafah crossing from southern Gaza. It's the first time people have been able to exit the besieged territory since the current conflict between Israel and Hamas began. Britain has published what it says is a landmark aimed at boosting global cooperation to ensure the safety of artificial intelligence. The statement, agreed by 28 countries, was presented on the opening day of a summit on the risks posed by AI taking place in the UK. Serbia's President Aleksandar Vučić has dissolved parliament and confirmed that a snap election will be held on the 17th of December. The move was widely expected. It comes amid continuing tensions with Kosovo and opposition protests against gun violence. Police in the Netherlands have made 7 arrests as part of a major investigation into drug smuggling through Schiphol Airport. All 7 were employees at the airport in Amsterdam. The arrests followed the discovery earlier this year of drugs shipments in the cargo hold of flights from Schiphol. 4 were intercepted in Asia and 1 at the airport itself.
And finally, in sports news, Saudi Arabia is prepared to host the 2034 World Cup in summer or winter, its football chief told AFP after the oil giant became the sole bidder for the tournament. Saudi Arabia's successful bid, just 27 days after announcing it, comes less than a year after neighboring Qatar held the first Winter World Cup, a decision that forced a pause to league competitions in Europe. Summers in the Desert Kingdom can touch 50 degrees Celsius, temperatures that could be considered dangerous for football and likely too hot for fans to be outside. Another weather report brought to you by Class Econ.
Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy. Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
The evening in some parts of the country will be partly cloudy, windy at times, and warm to mild with isolated rain. In western, southern, Lusaka, and eastern provinces, the weather will be partly cloudy, windy at times, and warm to mild. That ends the weather report.
Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy. Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
And that item brings us to the end of the news this evening. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. ECZ appoints new chief electoral officer. Nelly Muti rules that Matera Member of Parliament Miles Sampa's stay in the House is subject to court interpretation. Uganda moves to end oil import deal with Kenya. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy World of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. I'm Judith Mwape. Good evening.